Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Kandy Ribnz from Cheryl Wilson. Now I'm going to start this one off with four corners and a border because I think it'll be easier to demonstrate with some kind of a border. Because this one looks like it's one that is designed to fit into a space. Now, those that are super creative, um, you'll find a way, right? I mean, I suppose you could have an imaginary border or something, but let me just show. All right, so this one it says on Tangle Patterns, and I will put that link in there. Actually, I'll put two links in the for more inspiration, just for ease of finding the second link. Sometimes, if you're not real familiar with Tangle Patterns, sometimes she does a nice big write up and has a little thumbnail of her work, and then in reading what she has, you have to find um, the here that's highlighted. It would be in pink. That's the link to uh, the person's blog post or wherever that the step out is located. So I'm going to put both of them in there because I think it's interesting to see both. And when I was first looking at it, I'm like, well, that looks like echoism. And then as I'm reading, it says Cheryl discovered, air quotes, Kandy Ribnz while learning the official Tangle echoism, and I can totally see that. So this we could call it maybe a tangulation on that. Now she starts off with a little ball on the end, and I mimicked what she did in her step out by just doing a couple and then continuing, because really you can do this in pretty much one stroke, if you will. It's definitely one thought process. So this, I mean, you can have this kind of come out however you wish. And then we're starting, let me make sure that you can see the end of the pen. Yes, you can. Okay. So then coming up here to this edge, and it's a big like continuous S shape. So I'm coming around here, and then I'm going to have it butt up against each other towards the other side, if that makes sense. And so if you just watch, and then these loops can be however big you want, and then as you see, I'm coming in and touching right towards the end. And I'm going slow. Going slow helps. Besides, I'm doing it so that way you can see. And I'm going to stop there really quick. So you can see, and honestly, it doesn't matter where you end up hitting it, but these do seem to be elongated. Now, I have to go look at echoism again, because it's similar, but I want to say it's more like figure eights. I mean, still an S shape, sort of. But I have to look at that one again. And don't worry about, filling in everything tightly. That's not about that. It's just creating these really neat loops. I was going to try to stay in, but no. There. And what's neat about it is you don't have to be like a lot of tangles, most tangles. Don't worry about being perfect. But this one, it's nice and it's kind of soothing, just going back and forth. It's like a Muka is one that I find a comfort to draw, especially if I draw it slow, because of the back and forth. It's soothing, like rocking, sort of. All right. Then what she has us doing is curve line right up here towards the tip. And just by the way, I'm using a PN1 today because sometimes I find when I'm doing something like this that has a lot of turns and whatnot, I personally find it easier to just use the PN1. It's a little bit thicker than the number one, but sometimes, well, and sometimes I'm just, I'm like, I just want to do and not have to worry about if I'm too tight, if I'm bending the tip and all of that kind of stuff. So just a little tip. So just putting a curve line towards the top, and I'm going to turn my tile and do the same thing on the other side. And of course, you can put this as far away from that. I'm kind of putting it rather close. You can put it as far away as you want to. And she does this twice. And of course, you can do it as many times as you wish. What I'm also trying to do is utilize the takeoff and land concept, so that way I don't have these little bumps on the end where I start and stop. And to take off and land is to trace over a little bit of the line you're coming from. And then when you land, it's the same thing, landing on the line and tracing a little bit over as well there. And, if one doesn't work, when I do the second one, it's like, oh, well, I could just, well, let's say that one didn't work so good either. But there's things that you can do to disguise those if they bother you, or if they're real pronounced. For instance, you could just go over the lines again and redefine them. That works. Oh, and then this little one right here. And that is essentially it. Now, the debate. So, on Linda Farmer's on Tangle Patterns, her little sample, she did an additional line and filled in. On my step out, I decided to do the same. I filled in the second one and then drew lines and put some dots in the top, because you can just have as much fun as you want with this. Um, I'm just debating what I want to do. Well, let's just do that. So we'll just put a third one in. Like I said, this is playtime. You create what you want to create. And of course, I'm thinking of those, the ribbon candy. And I'm like, well, if I was looking at it this way, then it would look like it was tipped, sort of. But this is Zentangle, and we are not working to recreate anything. I think I'm gonna do what I did on my step out, just because I liked it. But I want to add some shading that I didn't do there. And then I'm also having this thought of, well, I don't have to do it the same every time, but I'm gonna. So I've moved to the graphic one pen. As you can see, it's a fatter tip. It is so nice for filling in. Now they do have a graphic 2 and a 3, but they're more of a chisel point. Like if you were doing calligraphy or something where you might want to have that, just to let you know. I bought them because I thought, oh, well, that might be nice if I could get it to lay right on the paper and go eek, and make a little just a mark, so that way I could make some nice consistent boxes with it. But no. Oh, and as I'm filling these in, I just had a thought, but I'm not. It's too late now. Well, maybe too late, maybe not too late, because the way the pen reacted, it on the paper, the way it looks, at least in my viewpoint, I'm seeing. So here's the thought: you could put shading under here, under here, under here, and make them look like different, like separate sections. That's what I'm seeing with the way the ink kind of laid on the paper. And that would look nice, except that I'm almost done filling these in. but I might do that on this bottom one. And all that means is, okay, next time I do it, then I'm going to maybe give that a try and see what it looks like. Okay. Now, oh, that looks kind of neat the way it is, doesn't it? Oh, maybe I'm going to change it up. Okay, so I'm going to put some straight lines. Oops. There we go. I'll do them on the top. And you could put orbs in here. I mean, as I mentioned, you could just leave them the way they are without doing anything. But you could put orbs. You could put zigzags. If you make them really a lot wider than this, you could probably put some other tangles in there, like shattuck or something. Ooh, almost. Probably could. I have to go back and look at it, but there's the Tangle moon pie. I don't know if that would work. Yeah, you could probably find a way to make it work. It's one that Rick and Maria came up with, and it fits kind of in corners, but you could adapt it. And it was a filled-in section, and then a section like this, but then I think there's white in between. It might take too many sections, but worth taking a look. You kind of make me think of snow hats. All right, so now let's try this. Let's just put a little graphite on the underside here. Oh, well, let's see. Maybe a little darker. Let's see. I'm not finding the thing that I was looking for, but that's okay. And I'm not going to bring this, I just want to get rid of what is that line, so I'm not bringing it out real far. So sometimes if you do that where you feel like you want to add some, don't feel like you have to bring it out any further. Just kind of blend it into the gradient that you already have. Oh, yes. Yes. The other thought that I'm having as I'm doing this is, ooh, you could do this and then maybe have it go down one side and then flipping on the other side, do it the other side. Okay, I have a lot of things. I have to do this one again. Because that could look neat as well. And because I didn't start down that, well, let me do these. I won't spread them out as far, and let's see if we can make it happen. All right. Well, maybe. Now, if I go this way, oh wait, if I go this way, so just always on the same, well, not the same side. I'm going to have to darken it. And this side. Uh-huh. Yep. All right, so here's what I did. Let's just start here. I'm adding some, like I said, and I'm going to work to keep it right. Just, bring this into the gradient a little bit. Okay, I will tell you one challenge with the PN pens. I don't know if you can see this. Maybe you can a little bit. So, because they're a plastic nib, it can leave a groove in these tiles, which they're cotton. So, which just means that number one, I was a bit heavy with the pen, which that's the reason that I was using it, so I didn't have to worry about it. But like I said, it leaves a little gap here where there's where it's indented. I'll use a different tortillon here. And I've done it before. I was like, I just need to get it to blend in there because I don't want to have a gap. Sometimes I want to have a gap. Right now I don't want to have a gap. Oh, see how the darker it needed to be darker. Don't be afraid to go dark. As my friend and fellow Tangle addict Tom says on a lot of our calls, go dark or go home. He's not afraid of having bold colors, and a lot of times I want to shy away from it. So that's neat, and even if you were to do both sides, it still has a neat puffy effect. But I just wanted to, sometimes it's neat to just have it on the one side as well. So all right, I am totally geeked with this. I'm more geeked than I had started out with. How cool is that? Sometimes when you turn it, it just takes on a little bit different shape. So that's why I was turning it. Neat Tangle. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, would love to have you click like. Feel free to share it. Leave comments. If you like it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. And just so you know, I haven't mentioned this in a while, I do post daily. Occasionally, and it should be more. It should be at least once a week that I post more than once, because I have uh, um, live sessions every week, and I record them with the intention of posting the replays. Sometimes that doesn't happen because real life gets in the way, but just so that way you know. And I mention that so that, and the reason that I want to let you know that is, if you don't like your phone, your devices, your email blowing up with notifications, make sure to hit the notification bell so that way you adjust how you want to be notified. I don't like my phone blowing up, so I just turn them all off. And I would rather have you receive no notifications and be a subscriber than to say, oh, gee whiz, that Heather's posting again? Ugh. And unsubscribe. So I would rather have that. In the description section, I mentioned step out links. Below that, ways to connect with me if you wish. I have a link to my website where you'll find classes. You'll find some tangles listed by category. I'm working on that, and on adding more, and also making it nice and functional. And then let's see what. Oh, also the blogs, that blog. So if you subscribe to follow me there, and that's in the upper right hand side, then when I post things like right now we're in Festivus Tangulus 2022. It's just kind of a monthly focus, and then also when I post the replays, that's where they get posted first. So would love to have you stay in touch that way as well. We also have a Facebook group, wonderful Facebook community, beautiful people on there. And so if you want to just join a bunch of Tangle addicts, like I said, we'd love to have you. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.